Well, good morning, everybody. Got a little special treat for everybody on April's channel. We got a little issue with her new Ford Edge that I bought her. A little background. She was originally driving my old Nissan, but it's not really much of a baby car anymore. So got the new vehicle, and I had to put this one back in service for me to drive back and forth to work. Save some gas rather than driving the Toyota anymore. So we got an issue with a misfire on the number 3 cylinder that was only popping up the last couple days on startup. So we're gonna try to figure out what's going on with this. Probably just a spark plug. But the first thing I'm gonna do is run it up, hook the scan tool up to it, and see if we can't get it to duplicate. And also go ahead and warm up the spark plug so they pop out a little easier. So a little connection down here just for the OBD2 scanner. It's already come on. So go ahead and start it. So I don't know if y'all can hear that little clacking sound. It's been doing that. Not too bad. You see the RPMs going there. They're a little bit low and jumping around during startup. And then once we get some good oil pressure on the turbo, that little flapper valve stops making that noise. That's actually kind of normal for turbos. It's not really an issue. The thing that is an issue is that rough idle when it first starts up. And as of right now, it's not kicking a trouble code for the Misfire. But this is actually a new scanner we got on Temu. I think she already did a video on that. But just so y'all can see how this works. We got a couple settings on here. Sorry. Move down, go to the onboard Diagnostics, and then I start communicating with the ECM. And as right now, we don't have any codes on here. It shows you what monitors we've got. We can read codes, and it's got the one code it just kicked, or it might have been from yesterday when I didn't clear it out. But that's a cylinder 3 misfire detected. Only one occurrence as of right now. And we've also got a data stream we can go to and do a real-time read on some of the systems. Now this isn't a great scanner. It's not a high dollar one. I think normally they're like 50 bucks. Got it for free from little deal from Temu. This is actually pretty good. There's some very more expensive ones that'll give you all kind of data reads and allow you to actuate a bunch of switches and everything like that, including, I think it's called like the Apollo D8 scan tools, like $2,000. I'm not going to be getting that anytime soon because I do not do this for a living. But on here we've got, let's see, anything on here that's actually applicable to what we got going on right now. You can see speed, miles per hour. We're not in a driving condition right now. We've got a real-time RPM, and we can see that that matches up. And if I go ahead and rev the engine, you can see the RPMs go up, and the mass air pressure, that'll increase as well as more air is getting pulled into the intake there. And then we've got the transmission temperature, which is low. We just started up. We got the mass airflow sensor, which does not read on this one. And then some other stuff that I have to research. I'm still learning this one. But the main thing is let's go ahead and let's back out of that. Let's go ahead and erase the codes. again. And I'll just do a restart here. See if we can't get that code to pop back up again. No, restart. Engine on, door ajar. Focus, not so good. That's okay. And we'll read codes again. No codes right now, which is what I was doing before. Very intermittent. So we'll go ahead and shut her down and start getting ready to take a look. Get the key out of here just in case. Oh, something else I gotta fix here soon. Flat tire on my tractor. And I am out of plugs. So I might do that later today. If you don't know what these are wheel bearings. I pulled these off the Nissan because, of course, right when I started driving that one again, one of them went bad. And if you got one bad, change both of them. Get this hood opened up. Good actuators, everything's nice and wet. I'll get this cover off. Maybe. There we go. So this is a 2.0 4-cylinder, turbocharged. Very good on gas. I kind of looked at this yesterday when I first started looking at everything. I don't see any loose connections. Going to the ignition coils here for each cylinder, and under that is the spark plugs. And I cannot see the injector plugs. Which look to be under here, and they are direct injected to each cylinder, I believe. Nope, that is not an injector. They're going to be up under here somewhere. I'd have to pull all this off and see that. Hopefully that's not the route I gotta go. So I'm going to be getting these spark plugs out, starting with the number 3 cylinder. I got to move some stuff out of the way and check the spark plugs, see what they're looking like. If they don't look bad, I already got some new spark plugs and we'll change them anyway, but if they don't look bad, once I get them changed out, I'm gonna swap some ignition coils around and see if the problem moves over. But hopefully it's just spark plug. I'll get the tools out. Let's see. If you ever see somebody at home with a toolbox that's got all the shadow cutouts, know that they were in the military. Everything's about tool control. If you don't have OCD, they'll give it to you. And we'll try to get a nice little setup so y'all can see what's going on. Alright. So we gotta get a couple things out of the way. Mainly these. tight. Maybe not. Oh, that's size one. Yes, it is. There we go. Here. Slide up for me. That would be good. There we go. All right, so we've got some vacuum lines, QD disconnects, chew off, chew off. Vacuum line here. Looks like somebody already did a little bit. There we go. And looks like we've got this mounting bolt right there. Well, see all that. There we go. A strong attempt will be made not to drop anything today. You off. And I should hop right on out of here. Got a little clip back here. There we go. Intake hose removed. And this little thing, little zip tie bracket. Move that out of the way. Those are good. That's not in the way. Got another little zip tie bracket here. Just show you what I'm talking about. Little zip tie brackets holding this water harness. It's going to kind of get in the way. I'm going to pop that off. Painted screwdriver. There we go. Alright, that's good. little QD disconnects on here. The ignition coils, pull the little tabs out, and they should become disconnected pretty easy. There we go. They're pretty good. You gotta worry about these things coming loose. Especially this one. It almost looks like a 1/4 inch, but I don't know why these two are different than the other ones. Oh, let's see, because that's what the little bracket was going on there. All right, so the number 3 is the one we're worried about the most. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna take this one off first. This one screw, those two. And pop off said ignition coil. Come on out of there. Alright. Everything looks good in there. No corrosion. Back up. Very loose. That was very loose. It was a very loose spark plug. And might explain why there's oil seeping through it. See all that oil on the base of it? Yeah, that spark plug wasn't even hand tight. There's no real damage to the electrode, so it may just be a compression issue. If it wasn't that tight, then the cylinder was losing compression until it warmed up and all the metal expanded. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the rest of them, see if they're anything remotely the same. But thinking that's probably a good smoking gun, which would be nice because I don't want to spend money on new ignition coils or injectors. Yeah, this one was much tighter. That one actually might be too tight. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it was, that number 3 spark plug. So they told me when I bought the vehicle, which was maybe a month and a half ago, that they did spark plugs at a full tune-up. So it was whatever technician at the dealership failed to tighten that spark plug. Which they don't require a lot of torque. So you can see this one is actually, so maybe not. So that one's got some wear. It's not fouled, but it's definitely old. Try to get some focus on that. Yeah, but there's no oil or anything. This is actually a healthy one. It's just got some age to it. Gonna go ahead and reinstall the two new ones here. These are pre-gapped. Always check your boxes when you change. Normally you would go to somewhere on the vehicle, usually in the engine compartment. We'll say what your spark plug gap is. Does not look like this one has that. But you can also just check the service manuals, go online, stuff like that. But these are pre-gapped. They were 31 thousandths. Iridium, Ford, Motorcraft. Cheapest ones I can get. This is not a performance machine. I'm not spending $17 on a spark plug. That is a waste of money. And these do not come with they come with a ring seal. So spark plugs don't require a lot of torque. Thread them in hand tight, and then you basically just give it like a quarter turn with your socket. If you over tighten them, when the engine heats up and everything comes in, it might seize. If you got some of the old style engines, you might have to put some anti-seize compound because of cast iron going on aluminum, different metals causing corrosion. But this is not the case. That's one in. Try to get a better view on that one. So got it in. So these, anybody that doesn't know, spark plug sockets, they got a little rubber in them to grab on to the spark plug, so you can lower it down, thread them in. Getting there. Hand tight. And a little bit tighter. Was not quite hand tight. All right, there we go. And just a little bit quarter turn. That's good. I'll double check this one. That's good. Boots. The ignition coils back on these. And this is just some dielectric. Just put a little bit in the boot right there. Goes on there. Protects the spark plug from corrosion, water. Make sure you're getting a good electrical contact, so all the electrons are flowing like they should be. Get back in. Screw back in. two. And in, clip in, moving on. Do the number 4. I'm gonna drop that screw. Popped out. A little bit of white stuff in there. It's all right. That one felt more normal. The number 3 wasn't even tight. The number 2 was super tight. The number 4 was right. And yeah, that was in the same condition as the number 2. A little old, but no fouling, no discoloration, just a little bit of carbon. Good to go. Honestly, didn't even really need to change that one. But if you're gonna do them all. If there's more than one thing of the same type, when you change one, change them all. It's like those wheel bearings on the Nissan. Found out pretty quick which one was bad, and then when I took off the other one, I could tell that it was much newer than the one that failed on me. So at some point in time before I had gotten that car, somebody had changed that wheel bearing, but they did not change the other side, so it was just a matter of time. All right. Lube. Connector back on, clip. And the number 1. Everybody likes V8s. I like 4 cylinders, especially 4 cylinders in large engine bays. This is super easy. So you can about disassemble this whole engine in this vehicle with it sitting in here. Looks good. Number 1 feels all right. So it's just a 2 and 3 for whatever reason. All the tightening that was supposed to be done on 3 was added to 2. And same deal. Number 1 was good. So my only other concern is with the oil being in the number 3, that there might be some leaking in the valve or the head and allowing oil or the ring to allow more than a normal amount of oil to get into the combustion chamber. But I want to say, with it not firing off like it's supposed to, it's not burning oil, because you're always going to be burning some oil in the combustion chamber. That's just how it is. Time will tell. If it runs good, I'm gonna pull this after a few days driving it. I'm gonna pull this number 3 spark plug out again and then check the condition of it. Regardless of whether or not it's still acting up. Hopefully it won't be. If there is, so a bunch of oil getting into the combustion chamber and something's going on. And I'm probably gonna have to take it back to the dealership, because that's going to be in the service contract for anything internal to the engine for them to fix on their dime. Connector back on. Check these coils. So if it does come back, I'm going to end up swapping these 2 coils around, see if the problem follows. That'll narrow down if there's an ignition coil problem. With the Misfire, I don't think that's the case. I think it was the spark plug being loose. If it goes past that, still happening without this, doesn't move over, then I have to go after the injector, see if it's shooting fuel like it's supposed to be. And if that fails, then it will be taken to the dealership, because obviously there's an issue with the valve train. All right, let's get all the air inlet components back in. Slide you back over, get you clipped back on. You. Tight. Tight. Allen bolt. Intake hose back on. Get all these vacuum lines back in. 1, 2, and the vacuum line here. All right. Check everything you mess with. Double check, make sure everything's back on. Nothing's missing. cover off right now. I already checked the oil, all the fluids. They're good. I checked those yesterday. I will be doing an oil change on it though. I have not done it since I got the vehicle, and you never want to not do your own oil change on a vehicle you just got. You never know what kind of oil or what kind of filter got put on, if a filter was even put on. Battery terminals look good. All right, then. Let's crank her up and see how she does. Put our scanner back in, just in case. Alright, she's on. And start it. And I can already tell I got higher RPM on startup there. And she is, give it a minute, I'm just going to turn the AC off. Get non-encumbered drivetrain action here. And let's go in here, see exactly. We were idling at just over 900. And we'll go down here. Data stream. Oops, sorry, focus. Become focused. Any day now. Focus. Maybe if I touch that right there. Yeah, there we go. I am phone camera illiterate. And RPM. Oh, I missed it. Go back. RPM 905. That's good. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it for, I'm going to let her idle for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to pull that number 3 spark plug, the new one I put in, pull it again, and we'll see if we got some oil. So we'll just let that run. And I'll be back. All right, we're back. So let it run for long enough for me to get a cup of coffee and do something that rhymes with dupe. And I went ahead and pulled out the new spark plug out of number 3. She's a little hot, so I'm going to use some pliers. A piece of that'll work just fine. There's no oil on the plug or anything like that. It looks good. So I want to call this a win. Go ahead and pump her back in. And let's see. Right there. Okay, and there we go. And just a little bit. There we go. Like I said, I'm gonna do the same thing again after it runs for a while. Even if it doesn't pop again, I'll pull it, make sure there's no oil. But I think we found the issue. Connector back on, clip secured. This Toit. Toit. Let's see. 1, 2. Vacuum line. Always check your vacuum lines. Nothing can cause weirder problems than some vacuum lines with holes in them, cracks. Don't know how many times I've had issues on vehicles, just a vacuum line being doo-doo. And check everything one more again. While we're in here, it's like there's a new drive belt, serpentine belt. That's good. I did crawl all over this vehicle when I first got it. They did a good job of cleaning it up, which is sometimes a way of hiding issues, especially leaks. The guy at the dealership, he got a little bit annoyed when I stopped in the middle of the test drive and crawled up under the vehicle and had him rev it up and a few other things just to check it. They get too annoyed and you know that they're trying to hide something. I do like this little pop-on cover. Nissan has the Allen bolts that hold it on, and things strip out quite a bit. I've had to replace them twice since I've had the vehicle. And well, do you want to go on? No, you just want me to line you up correctly. All right, that's good. Get these tools out of here. And crank her up again. Make sure she's still good. Plug my scanner tool back in. This thing is also good. I'm going to show this. I actually really appreciate it. If you ever want to know how well your alternator and your battery's doing, just like everything else in a vehicle, including the engine, everything is powered by the battery. The alternator just charges. But there is, I gotta find it. Oh, there it is. It goes on the last page. The onboard diagnostics and power, so 14.4 volts. So that's charge voltage. So the battery's 12 volts. With the engine powered off, you want the battery to be reading around 12. 11 to 12 is good. When it's actually running and the alternator's charging the battery, you should see a higher voltage. It should go up 14, 15. The Tacoma, when it does it, that alternator's pretty strong. It'll read about almost 16. Let's rev it up a little bit. She definitely sounds better. I think we got a good fix. But I am going to let the engine cool down and do some restarts, and because that's when it was popping, that's when it was doing it, was during cold start. This isn't a high mileage use vehicle. It's mainly just for April to drive around when I'm at work or long distance road trips. We can pack everybody in here because there's a good amount of room. There's the seat for Chonk, and the back will be the place for Nut Dog to be. The truck is more or less just for work purposes and beauty. It is sitting collateral. That thing is still worth 20 grand. It's 2017 with 150K on it. Nothing holds value like a Tacoma, nothing lasts longer, so there's my pitch, and Tacoma needs to be giving me money for it. So I'll power the engine off, and then you see how the voltage went down on the OBD power. So that's the actual battery voltage. Focus. So 12.5 reading from the battery. Start it up again. The alternator kicks up. You saw the voltages go down because that was a drain to the starter, and then the alternator is now charging the battery. So 13.7. It's probably climb back up 14.1. There it goes. And a little bit more. I think it's sitting at 14.4. Yeah. So good alternator, good battery. And it's useful. All right. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. A little bit of change of pace from the usual unboxing videos and anything that comes up on Temu. And see y'all later.